All right, it's 9:30 on a Saturday night. You're at home at your house, and your daughter is supposed to be home about 9:30. So she's not there yet, and you say to yourself, I want to check on her. So you pull up your phone. As you get ready to dial the number, you look and there's a weird text message. The text message says something like, your number has been moved to another phone company. You immediately dismiss it, and you think to yourself, this has to be some kind of spam message or a mistake. So you get ready to dial your daughter's number, you hit the green call button, and then at the other end, all you can hear is an error message saying that your phone no longer works. Not really realizing the repercussions at first, you decide that what you're going to do is call the phone company. So as you call the phone company, you are on hold, you start getting all kinds of messages coming through on your laptop computer. You hear the ding over and over and over again. While you're still on the phone, you pull up the computer and all of a sudden you see an email that says your email address and password on various accounts have been changed. And then before you know it, you're logged out of your own email address, completely helpless. You want to hit forgot password and try to change the password and get back in, but unfortunately, that's tied also to your phone number. So you start panicking, and then you realize that, oh my gosh, what about my crypto? So you pull up your Coinbase account, you pull up your Binance account, you pull up other wallets, and you realize that all your crypto is gone. It's all disappeared in a matter of 10 to 15 minutes. Your social media accounts are gone. Your online banking information is gone. You don't even know what they've got into with your banking yet. There's so many things of your life that have just been changed in a matter of 10 to 15 minutes, all while you sit on the phone waiting for your phone company to answer. Unfortunately, that's a scenario that is happening more and more frequently, not just across the country, but across the world. And it seems like there's not really being anything done about it. And as we dive into this today, you're going to realize that the situation I just described involves what's called SIM card hijacking or SIM card hacking. And the worst part about it is that it's completely impossible to stop. The more I dug into this, the more I was absolutely shocked and horrified at how vulnerable we all are to this. And honestly, this isn't like a shock or a scare video. This is me giving you real information that hopefully you can take and figure out better ways to protect yourself and protect your identity. Don't forget to click that subscribe button to become a member of the Bit Squad. For the month of December, we're giving away a Nano Ledger S sponsored by Nimic. Make sure you guys like and comment on all of our videos in December to get the maximum number of entries. So what is SIM card hijacking? Well, it's when someone is able to control your online footprint based upon stealing your phone number. And they do that through various number of ways. Once they do it, a lot of times what they'll do is port it over to a different phone service, and it'll take your phone company even longer to figure out how to fix it. Your phone company looks at it like, oh, it's not a big deal, everything is fine with your account. However, at some point down the line, phone companies and online companies decided that the closest thing to tie your identity to was a phone number, because it's with you all the time and no one else should have access to it but you. Even if they steal your device, then a lot of times you will have that PIN protected on your phone and they won't even be able to get in it. It is very hard for hackers to actually get into a phone. We saw that with the San Bernardino shooting, where the FBI had to basically try to get Apple to let it into the phone because they couldn't get into it. So there may be some hackers that can do it, but it's not very common. So here's the thing. You've been told that you can protect yourself. You've been told that you can protect your phone number. Each one of the major phone companies, and we're talking about Sprint, Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile, each one of these companies has a specific set of guidelines that are supposed to protect you from this ever happening. So recently I went to my local phone store and I set my account up with my company in a way to make it where it should be unhackable. And you know, the thing was, as I went and I talked to the service rep there, I started realizing, number one, this guy has no idea what SIM card hijacking is, because I asked him about it and he acted clueless, which blew my mind. And I just didn't walk away feeling very good about the conversation. So I set up all kinds of parameters where I am the only person who can access my phone plan. It has to be done in person. They have a picture of me along with my account so they know what I look like. I set up a PIN number. I set up all kinds of things, made them put red flags on my account. I did all this. And the guy just seemed kind of haphazard about it. And so I left the store and I really started wondering, man, is my phone actually secure? And I started digging around the old interwebs and come to find out that I am not safe. You are not safe. None of us are safe from SIM card hijacking. There's nothing you can do to prevent someone from being able to steal your phone number. So don't believe me? Well, let's look at why. So first, you have to go to Michael Turpin, and he is a very well-known person in the space. He recently sued AT&T for $224 million. $24 million of that was crypto that was stolen from him, and then $200 million of that was for damages and negligence. And let me tell you, they are negligent. So the interesting thing about this story is that Michael Turpin has actually been hacked twice. The first time he was hacked, it wasn't for that much money. It was a SIM card hack as well. And so he actually went and met with the people at the corporate AT&T office to figure out what he could do to keep his account safe. So they put high restricted red flags on his account. That means that he's a very high risk. He had it PIN protected. He had all kinds of things done to his account where no one should be able to steal his identity. So he felt safe. And then he was hacked again, and none of the protocols were followed. Basically, a kid in a store, and I say kid, he was definitely in his early 20s or maybe even a teenager, was able to use a 6-digit code that was either given to him by someone else, or maybe he had access to that code and was able to use that to port his number out and make a SIM swap possible. So the question is, how, if he had all this protection, was this kid in the store able to do this? Well, it's very simple, and this is where this becomes a very dirty and dangerous thing. Almost all of these high-profile hacks are inside jobs. There's a lot of evidence to show this, and you really got to think this is organized crime at its best. Michael Turpin says he actually believes that there are hundreds of millions of people involved in this. So I don't know if there's that many, that's a lot, but organized crime syndicates are making these SIM swaps possible. They've got people in place, different parts around the world in order to steal these numbers. So there was recently a T-Mobile worker, and this is very interesting, guys. He worked for T-Mobile. It was his first day at work, and what he did was he put an Instagram post, and T-Mobile will not allow him to reveal his true identity, so we don't actually have access to this picture. So he did the Instagram post with the hashtag T-Mobile. It wasn't a matter of hours, and he received a message from someone saying that congratulations on his new job and they would like to begin working with him. And there was a series of messages back and forth where basically this person on the other end of this message was promising this new employee that he can make between $80 to $100 for every number that he ported over. So basically, the crime syndicate would take someone's number, they would give it to him, and he would port that number over. And he was promised he could make up to $100,000 in a short period of time.
Show me the money! Show me the money!
So listen to this. If you think to yourself, oh, well, if I end up getting all of my crypto stolen or my bank account hacked or whatever the case may be, and it's proven that someone within the company, within the phone company, was responsible for it, That's a slam dunk lawsuit, correct? Wrong again. While you certainly would have a chance to get this thrown out, AT&T, and I'm assuming many of the other phone companies, actually have a clause within your contract if you suffer loss via fraud, and it's proven that it is directly the result of the actions of an AT&T employee, AT&T is still not responsible for that. Where's the motivation when someone gets told that they have $100 that they will receive for each one of these phone numbers that they port? What's the motivation for them not to do it other than just morals and integrity? Well, you have to also look at the phone companies being negligent in this, knowing that this is going on, and not providing the security to you in your life. It's actually very troubling. To me, that's absolutely mind-blowing and outrageous. I can't even believe that that's a clause that they're allowed to get away with within their contract. And with Michael Turbin's $224 million lawsuit, that's certainly going to be tried and tested, because that's exactly what he's going after, because he believes that it was an inside job. So for many of these inside jobs, it involves basically getting someone in the inside. What if, however, the hacker themselves have an internal tool to your telephone company? Because that's also something that's going on. T-Mobile has a tool where basically any person who is helping someone on the phone can pull up that person's account, and they can get all of their information together at one place. Well, there's a website called OG Users, and it's a forum where a lot of people's information and social media accounts are being passed back and forth and bought and sold that are a result from these hacks. There is someone on OG Users that sent a reporter a screenshot of him actually using an internal T-Mobile tool that had all of the author's information on it, including not just like social security number, address, things like that, but even the special notes that are required when he would make a change on his phone plan. So just like I said, I did earlier at the phone store, this author had done the same thing, and those special personalized notes were on there proving that this hacker has access to anyone on T-Mobile's network. Totally crazy that this is going on. And T-Mobile is the one that really has kind of been outed the most in all of this, with all of their, with data breaches and things like that. However, there are so many other phone companies that probably have similar things going on, but it just hasn't came to light yet. Whenever you look at an iceberg, you're only seeing the top 10%. The other 90% is underwater. That's why people say, oh, this is just the tip of the iceberg. And I believe that in this case, this is only the tip of the iceberg of all the negligence going on with the phone companies. It's astounding, and it's very, very, very alarming. Okay, so now we've scratched the surface, and we now know that it is impossible for you to stop a SIM card hack, especially if you use one of the big four phone companies. But the question is, now that you know what the situation is, what can you do about it? Well, I'm going to have a video next week that's going to come out where I'm going to walk you guys through how to disentangle your identity from your phone number and how to keep yourself safe and secure. It's a lot of steps. There's a lot of things you can do. The fact is, you have to neutralize the threat because you cannot stop it. So basically what you have to do is you have to build your life in a way so that if the hacker is able to get access to your phone number, that they're still not going to be able to do anything with it. So stay tuned next week. We're going to show you guys about that. Until next time, BitBoy out.